In the previous part, we heard analyses related to the Straw Hat at Mary Geos, along with the race of Joy Boy and the special abilities of the Buccaneer tribe. The Straw Hat is not just a trophy that Emu possesses after successfully defeating Joy Boy, but it also contains a tremendously powerful force, Joy Boy's soul existing inside the hat. As we saw in Chapter 1122, Joy Boy's hockey power could be transferred into a knot of rope, allowing a robot to use it for rescue in critical moments. Hockey is a form of energy like wind, fire, and heat elements. It can be stored in objects such as seashells or rope knots. Dr. Vegapunk's 21-gram experiment of the soul indicates that the soul is also a form of energy and can exist in parallel with the human body. When someone dies, the soul leaves the body to become a form of energy. But it will never grow old, like Brooke. At this point, with the capabilities of science, that soul portion can be retained inside another container, and I believe the Straw Hat at the Holy Land that Emu possesses contains Joy Boy's soul, a member of the Buccaneer tribe. And his body size is quite similar to Kuma's. The Buccaneer tribe has a special ability that even when their bodies have no will, which Vegapunk confirms is the soul, they can still function. And Kuma has been operating unconsciously but full of emotion. He punched and broke Saturn's halo, or smiled when he saw Bonnie had grown up. So Joy Boy seems to still exist from the Void Century until now, in the form of a soul portion, like an energy source stored until the day it is released, like his hockey stream in Chapter 1122. Emu truly doesn't want to destroy Joy Boy's soul because he still wants to use it to achieve an even greater ambition, so he kept that straw hat. Author Oda himself has placed Emu on the list of 12 individuals who want to seize One Piece, showing that Emu is not truly the king of the world at this time. He will only be king when he finds Joy Boy's treasure. It's also a piece to unite with the power of the Straw Hat. At that time, Emu's ambition to be the world king will reach a perfect level, and his power will explode to its peak. Because we have seen how he feared Joy Boy's hockey power. Emu is not the strongest in the world yet, my friends. He still fears ancient weapons, fears both Luffy and Blackbeard when holding the wanted posters of these two characters in front of the Straw Hat. He fears the D-Clan because of the unsolved mystery of this clan, which has made those belonging to the celestial dragons at Mary Geos scream in terror. Don't forget that Law also belongs to the D-Clan. He has hidden his name. And there is a huge intention from author Oda when he lets Law escape in front of Blackbeard. Do you think Emu is the king of the world? Is it too early or not? This final race is heading towards that title. At God Valley, the celestial dragons brought the Uo no Mi devil fruit, which is the strongest mythical Zoan-type devil fruit among all creatures, as a bounty. To show that in Emu's eyes, this fruit is just grass. Their abilities are not threatening enough to his rule. Emu seems to crave another devil fruit that he once had before, which is the Ope Ope no Mi, a devil fruit that can surgically manipulate anything within the created room. Ivankov hypothesized that from ancient times, there was a king called Nidora Emu existing in the world. He, along with 19 others, joined forces to overthrow the ancient kingdom, forming the current world government. Therefore, the Emu that Sabo saw at the Holy Land could be the person who has enjoyed the supreme power of the Ope Ope fruit. Because only with an immortal survivor can the ability of this devil fruit be explained in the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia. This hypothesis is extremely reasonable and convincing. It doesn't come from any YouTuber but from author Oda himself explaining. Why has Emu ruled the world for hundreds of years without dying? This Ope Ope fruit is also normal like other devil fruits, but its exchange price on the market is up to 5 billion belly, a huge number that seemingly no one other than the government can afford. You may already know, each time you want to claim the bounty money for the pirates you've caught, you can only submit it to the Navy and the government to get paid. Because only they have the ability to pay, no one else does. Emu really wants to acquire the Ope Ope fruit once again, but this isn't easy when Doflamingo has targeted the Ope fruit to use its power to dominate the world. Doflamingo confirms that the supreme power brings immortality to others, but in return, the devil fruit user must die. However, to accomplish this requires the user to be a genius doctor, otherwise, it's useless. Moreover, what Doflamingo needs is not immortality but the ability to swap souls from the Ope fruit, the ability we saw Law use in Punk Hazard. He will affect the heart position of someone, take it out of the body and swap it into another person's body. The Straw Hat crew members, Vice Admiral Smoker, and Tashigi were affected by this ability, and they almost couldn't swap back by themselves, showing that this effect will be permanent with no time limit like some other devil fruits. So what is the underlying reason why Doflamingo needs to swap souls from the Ope fruit to be able to rule the world? This is still unclear and remains a secret, but based on what he said, he knows there is a national treasure at Mary Geos. When he uses this national treasure, he will rule the world. So doesn't Doflamingo care about Emu? Is it possible that just by taking that treasure and using Ope to swap souls without defeating Emu, Emu would leave him alone? From here, I think Emu is just a soul existing inside someone else's body, just like a strong soul using another body as a container. If Doflamingo could swap Emu's soul into an inanimate object, such as a knot with a rope or a dial shell, then Emu would be like a genie, having power and strength but useless if not released. Instead, Doflamingo only needs to swap his soul with the national treasure, or take the soul from the national treasure to transmit into his body, then he will have a much more terrifying power. He will have the ability to run the world with this most domineering power in the world. Now I think you need to re-examine the data related to Gecko Moria. He is a body thief who swaps the shadows of the living into it, helping the body resurrect and carry the power from both the body and the shadow. Take Ors as an example. He collected Ors' body on an ice island and Ors died 500 years ago, but his body did not rot and still existed intact in the cold snow. Gecko Moria collected it. He recreated Ors' body, thanks to the ability of Dr. Hogback. He is a genius not much inferior to Vegapunk, my friends. Gecko Moria also collected Luffy's shadow and he stuffed it into Ors' body, making Ors more terrifyingly powerful than initially. So an ancient giant, mostly fighting with physical strength, but when having the ability of rubber becomes even more domineering. Plus being an undead that doesn't feel pain, Ors seems to be invincible. Until Ors had his spine broken, he lost the ability to move and fight. This is the special thing. Moria retrieved Ors' shadow, stuffed it into his body which led to Ors' death once again. So you should also think, if Doflamingo does the same, he swaps his own soul into a powerful body at Mary Geos or does the opposite, then he will also become extremely powerful, enough to dominate this world. This is exactly what Kaido wants, a world of violence. Only the strongest can be called king and everyone wants to find One Piece, to be called the Pirate King. But the Pirate King can't be as high as the World King. This is just the key point for us to realize that Roger only found a piece of power left by Joy Boy at Laugh Tale. Another piece is currently being monopolized by Emu at Mary Geos and people call him the World King, but in reality, it's just like a celestial dragon, self-proclaimed to be a god but actually not a god, just a fake god. Whitebeard revealed that from ancient times, there was a kingdom of gods on top of Red Line, not Mary Geos. The celestial dragons are fake gods and Emu is also pretending to be the World King with his victory in the Void Century over the ancient kingdom, but in reality, he is not yet the World King. He needs to find the One Piece treasure, combine the two pieces of treasure that Joy Boy left behind to have the ruling power over this entire world. That's why Oda has put Emu on the list of 12 people finding One Piece to confirm how much he craves this treasure. And clearly, the Ope fruit has a very important ability. It will swap someone's soul with the national treasure, or it will also be able to take out the soul and stuff it into someone else's body, to resurrect the power of that soul. Devil fruits are a similar type. They are said to have souls, and have the ability to reincarnate into some nearby fruit to live again, forming a new devil fruit and bestowing power on another eater. So Joy Boy's soul, a buccaneer tribesman with special abilities and a strong will to survive, is still stored inside the straw hat that Emu is keeping. Don't forget that the soul struggle always exists, like awakening a devil fruit. If Zoan awakening fails, the animals will possess the human body. They will be able to use the Zoan fruit's thinking and the eater's physique to maximize their own strength, such as speed, strength, endurance, and recovery. From absorbing another soul, just by overwhelming that soul with a strong will, one can use the power of this soul without fear of losing control. Most of the characters in the final stage are very strong, they can completely control themselves, so sitting and stuffing another soul into the body will easily bring greater power. The world government and anyone else all crave the Ope Ope devil fruit. Fortunately, Oda didn't let it fall into Blackbeard's hands. When he defeated Law, Bepo turned into Sulong with Chopper's medicine to save Law from death in the nick of time. The intention is for Law to return in the future with a very important power from the Ope fruit. Law can use its power to swap or stuff souls like Doflamingo's ambition into someone, to increase the strength of this character in the fateful battle. And of course, the person we trust is Luffy and no one else. Thus, Luffy will have up to 2 souls. If he and Joy Boy both activate the power of the legendary devil fruit Hito Hito no Mi, model sun god Nika to a new level, it's unimaginable, isn't it? I always think that Joy Boy's soul still exists like an energy source stored inside the knot of a rope. In the next video, I will have a hypothesis explaining to you why Emu is immortal but still craves One Piece. Please subscribe to the channel to follow. Thank you for watching.